Yesterday is gone, tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. So let us begin. Welcome to 9 Minutes with Nefertiti. Hey everyone, welcome to our conversation. Hope you're having an amazing day. Today I wanted to take a few quick minutes to talk about the importance of self-talk. Yeah, self-talk. Have you ever heard people say only crazy people talk to themselves? Or people sometimes say it's okay to talk to yourself as long as you don't talk back. Have you heard things like that? I've heard my mom say that once or twice. But there is a compelling body of growing evidence, of research evidence that talks about the importance of our self-talk. And today I want to just spend a few seconds or a few minutes thinking about our self-talk. There are many Bible verses that I say to myself throughout any given day to help me just stay connected and stay positive. And one of those is Proverbs 18:21 that says, "The power of life and death are in the tongue." And so sometimes when I hear myself talking to myself, because I do consider that the power of my tongue, I'm trying to be more mindful and more careful of what I am saying to myself, because I can get defeated just in how I'm talking, or I can have a sense of empowerment about a situation or circumstance just by the way I'm thinking. And so let's talk a few minutes about self-talk. So what is self-talk? You know what is self-talk? Well, self-talk is the endless stream of unspoken thoughts that run through our head. The endless stream of unspoken thoughts that run through our head. Now, the reality is the self-talk can be positive, negative, combination of both. But today, as you're listening to me, I just want us all to examine our self-talk and help us think about whether it's leading us to a life of hopefulness and optimism, or is it something we need to talk more about and get more positive with? So today, I want to talk about the positive side. If you're a person who tends to be more negative, please don't turn me off. Just listen for a few minutes, take what you can from it, think about it ongoing. But let's talk about getting positive with our self-talk. Individuals who tend to have more of a negative thought process or self-talk can be considered what we call a pessimist. You know, that person always sees the glass as half full and not half empty. I was doing some technical assistance several years ago, and I said to the lady that was, at the front desk, I was like, "Well, have a great weekend. It was so nice to meet you today." And she said, "Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to try to have a good weekend, but I heard it's going to rain all weekend long." Now, again, I have no idea what kind of day she had, and I'm not saying even for me or for you that everything out of our mouth is going to be positive. But a pessimistic person is sometimes that person who tends to see the situation as a gloom and doom. And even when you try to offer a ray of sunshine, he or she doesn't see it or doesn't want to even think about it. That person can be considered a pessimist. A person who tends to see things more on the bright side or to see the glass half full is what we would consider an optimist. And again, self-talk has a lot to do with whether you're leaning more to the pessimistic side or whether you're optimistic an optimistic person. And so I have this cute little handout or a poster that I keep right here in my home office to remind me, but I also made it available for you as a download. It's called "Are You a Pessimist or Are You an Optimist?" I encourage you to go to my website, check it out, and share it with others. There's also something I want us to think about as we think about being more optimistic. To be more optimistic does not mean you have your head in the sand. Sometimes I think people think, "Oh, you just go around with this, oh, everything's going to be okay" attitude. And yeah, because it's a choice. And to have a more optimistic attitude does not mean you are neglecting the things that need your attention. Again, I've said this before in other conversations. To choose to be more positive may just give you the higher levels of energy that you need to deal with some circumstances that aren't so pleasant. So again, I want to make sure we're clear about that. To be an optimist does not mean you are neglecting the things that might not be totally okay. Optimism is a choice, and choosing optimism and more positive self-talk may give you the energy that you need to deal with some of those high peaks in your life when you need that extra wherewithal, We know from our growing body of research that you can begin to change your self-talk. You can do it. The process is rather simple, but just like anything, if you are one who tends to be more negative, this is creating a new habit for yourself. And with habits require diligence, consistency, and some day in and day out of practice with it. So again, the process might be simple, but because you're trying to change a new habit, you got to keep working at it like anything else. Here are a few things to think about. First of all, identify the areas where you tend to be more negative. Can you think about that? Are there areas of your life that your self-talk tends to be more negative? Like, is there a part of your life, like maybe you're working on stop smoking or to weight loss or getting out of a relationship that's not so positive, and you're continuing to say things like, it's always going to be like this, things are never going to change. Like, are you finding yourself talking like that? Well, if you are, take note of the areas. Just take note. Take a mental note, take a written note of those areas in your life where you tend to be more negative. So think about your areas where you might want to change, become fully conscientious of those areas, and then pay closer attention to your talk. Anytime you hear yourself talking negative, try your very, very best to spin that around. Not going to be easy, but we're worth it, right? We're worth it. My second quick tip is to surround yourself by people who tend to be more like-minded, who tend to be more positive, because we can get stuck in these traps of people who like to be negative, and we can stay there if we're not careful. So work to surround yourself with people who tend to be more positive. This positive nature and positive way to think about life can become contagious. Just watch. Just like sticking around people who are negative can become contagious, so too can sticking around people who tend to talk and to practice more positivity. So try. Lastly, and I was going to offer two, but this one is on my mind too. When you feel yourself being not so positive, now it's time to practice self-compassion. Listen, even as I sit here and offering these tips, I'm going to have to listen to this recording myself, because there are times where my own positive self-talk is not the best. And when you find yourself here, be compassionate. Treat yourself as you would a kind friend. Remember those positive words that you might be able to offer, just as you would offer them to someone else. Offer them to yourself. This too shall pass. God is with you. This is not impossible. You are courageous. You are brave. You got this. Say those things to yourself over and over and over until you get to a place where your self-talk tends to be more positive and less negative. I'm going to leave you today with some affirmations. Affirmations offered by some of the coolest people I think that are around, and those are children. So I'm going to stop right here, play a few affirmations for you that hopefully will brighten your day. But remember, the point of this conversation is to be careful of your self-talk, because the power of life and death are in the tongue. So let's make sure the tongue is as positive as it can be. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy these affirmations. I'll see you in our next conversation.
I like my school. I like anything. I like my dad. I like my cousins. I like my aunts. I like my Allisons.